There are groups for just about every interest. There's one local group that meets, and I'm sure that if you were to ask any one of the members if they wanted to join the group, they would look at you as if you were crazy. It's a group that none of them wanted to be a part of. Kim Griffiths has the story.
Hi. Lots of good food.
It's common for friends to get together on a Saturday afternoon to share in some homemade food and fire up the grill.
First of the season salmon.
It's a familiar and friendly scene, but the cost to join this group is high.
I first got involved with this group when my brother was murdered.
My son was murdered in 1989.
I became involved first in 1992 when my only child, Amy, was murdered.
They are people who never would have gotten together if not for the unimaginable. And now they can't imagine surviving it without each other.
It's been a rough year.
Families and Friends of Violent Crime Victims offers people to listen and hands to hold when no one else can possibly understand.
I would like to tell them, you know, they murdered my daughter, but they did murder more than my daughter. They murdered every one of her friends and every one of her family members.
Oh, sure.
And I would like them to know that in their hearts.
These are the survivors behind the statistics. The people caught up in the violent crimes that you've seen in the news and those you haven't.
2 little boys found his body draped over a rock.
10-year-old Brian was murdered while on a family camping trip.
It's a club nobody wants to join, that's for sure.
It took Brian's sister, Kimala, years to accept help from the group, but now she's able to help others.
If you haven't been there and walked in those shoes, it's hard to identify to that. And so as advocates of families and friends, and a lot of us are survivors, we are able to say, you know what, I can understand. I've been in similar shoes like that.
All rise. Christine Simpson finds herself back in court as her sister's killer fights his conviction. Navigating the court system is confusing. Reliving the case is traumatizing. But having support by her side has gotten her through.
It's hell. It's really hell. I mean, it's not just a court process. My sister's dead. He intentionally picked up the gun and shot her in the face. It's from very step one he's been trying to get out of this. And from very step one, she's been there and helping us. And I don't know what I would have done without their help.
My family was virtually trapped inside the courthouse by the media.
After Bill Berkheimer's daughter Rachel was brutally killed in 2003, he and his family endured 3 murder trials in 5 months. The Families and Friends of Violent Crime Victims group helped them deal with the intense media attention and then stayed to pick up the pieces when that attention went away.
It's now during the quiet time, and it's a little further down the path when we probably need them the most.
This is a safe place to feel.
Who better to lean on than someone who's been there and survived?
I got a call about 2:30 in the morning, and he said, "Do you know where Vonnie's at?"
Lola Lindstad co-founded Families and Friends back in 1975 when her daughter Vonnie was abducted and murdered. It was a time when serial killer Ted Bundy was preying on young women. Several local girls were missing. Lola asked a friend how other families coped.
I said, I wonder what some of the other mothers did, or how did they handle this? And Linda said, why don't we find out?
They started calling the parents of missing girls, inviting them to meet.
And to our surprise, we had about 35 people come.
Families and Friends of Violent Crime Victims was born of grieving mothers in a church basement 30 years ago.
I remember we used to say, this is an organization where we don't want any new members because we don't want any more victims.
I am here today very thankful that today victims do have rights in our system.
But there are more victims, and that's why this group bands together to change laws, fight for victims' rights.
We want justice
and find strength in each other, even when they can't find it in themselves.
And it's nothing that anybody would choose to join, but once you're there, there's just something to be said for people that have walked that path in front of you.
The group doesn't get state funding. It relies heavily on donations, so they've got really fun events that they put on. They've got one coming up on the 20th of July. It's a golf outing. It's over in Marysville. If you want to find out more about it, you can always go to king5.com.